Hello.
Then. Now.
Down to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell throws over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, and welcome to episode number 7 of the TEW Challenge Run. TEW 9 Challenge Run, fuck's sake. This is going to be Raw for Monday, 15th of July, 2024. It is the go-home show to King of the Ring and Evolution. And yeah, tonight we're going to find out the Raw finalists of both tournaments, where on this show the semi-finals take place. Bianca Belair faces Nova Nebula, and Tiffany Stratton faces Stephanie Vaquer. On the men's side, it's Xavier Woods taking on Montez Ford, and AJ Styles taking on LA Knight. Plus, Roxy Perez and Alexa Bliss one-on-one, and a star-studded 6-man tag team main event when Imperium face off with Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Without any more further ado, though, let's jump straight into this go-home show. We start with Bronson Steiner coming down to the ring. He made his return to close out the end of last week's Raw, but he laid out all 3 members of the New Day following Xavier Woods' King of the Ring match. And he comes and goes, well, looks like someone's suspension is over. Now, over the last month I've had to sit back and watch as Triple H, his beloved little Monday Night Raw show, goes off without a hitch without anybody even trying to step up and make a name for themselves. It's quite frankly embarrassing that everybody back there would rather toe the company line and make sure not to piss anybody off than to actually come out here and make a statement. Well, that's not happening anymore because I'm back now. And what better place to make my grand return than the closing minutes of Monday Night Raw? Xavier Woods. There's nothing personal between me and you, buddy. You know, your King of the Ring run's going exceptional. But I decided to make a statement and you just so happened to be the man in my path. You know, I can't help but notice that, old Dave Bautista is still out on the shelf. You know, I seem to have taken care of that idiot from his job. So if anybody else thinks they've got what it takes to try and stop me, Triple H couldn't do it, Batista couldn't do it. What makes any of you back there think you've got what it takes to take care of me? That's when Big E comes out. Just Big E. And he takes the mic. And we've got serious Big E here. We haven't got comedy New Day Big E. He goes, Bronson Steiner. Oh, you've long been touted as one of the fastest rising stars here in WWE. You've often been touted as a future world champion here in WWE. And who can blame anybody who thinks that? Look at you, you're a beast. You're an animal. But last week, you made your grand return to win Monday Night Raw. What a moment. I don't begrudge you for that, no. What I do begrudge you of is trying to make the New Day's moment and my boy Xavier Woods' moment all about yourself. You see, you came out here and you say, oh, Woods, it's no hard feelings, just so happened to be in my way when I came back to Main Event Raw. That's my brother, man. You came out here and you speared the life out of a man who's trying his damnedest to win his childhood dream. A man who's trying his damnedest to live up to the legacy of the greatest group in WWE history. And now, he's going to go into his match tonight, weakened, because you speared the life out of him last week for no reason other than your own selfish game. So, Bronson, you may be tough. You may be badass. But I don't like you. And I'm going to make sure you're not going to be around to get in Woods' business tonight. And Bronson goes, oh yeah, what you going to do about it, big boy? And then Big E smacks the fuck out of him. Which, you know, Bronson Steiner, his expression changes, you know, he's laughing before he gets slapped, and the second he gets slapped, he immediately snaps into, like, the most serious expression you've ever seen. And then him and Big E start brawling. They brawl to the outside, you know, security, road agents, referees, they all can't break these two big meaty men up, but they do have to be, you know, they brawl off to the back, eventually, you know, clearing the way. You know, yeah, pretty logical story here, you know. Bronson Steiner came back and speared the New Day because he wanted to come back in the main event of Raw, and they just so happened to be the main event of Raw. Big E, what the fuck you doing that for, bro? You know? Not everything has to be a complex 6-month story, you know? That's a perfectly serviceable, nice little obvious animosity between two people. Our opening match gets a 77. It's AJ Styles against LA Knight. And it is AJ Styles who advances to the next round and the Raw final of King of the Ring. He defeats LA Knight in 10 minutes and 50 with a Styles clash following interference from Austin Gunn. Specifically just Austin Gunn. 67 for AJ Styles, 82 for LA Knight, yeah. And yes, it is confirmed that at King of the Ring, in the Raw King of the Ring final, AJ Styles will face off against either Xavier Woods or Montez Ford. And the winner of that will go on later on in the night to face the winner of the SmackDown final, which we'll find out who's in that on Friday. We get a quick backstage segment. Cody's arriving to the building. He's getting off the bus. He's got this suitcase, he's in a suit, he's got his championship, he's coming into the arena. When CM Punk greets him, Punk just sat right on a crate right at the entrance of the building. He goes, "Cody, I need to catch up to you for a minute." He goes, "What is it, Punk?" He goes, "Look, I get it, man. I get it. For how many years did me and John, not see eye to eye because the way he was, I get it. You, in many ways, are the new John Cena." Cody goes, "I sense a but coming. But are you sure you know what you did last week? Okay, there's one person I know on this roster right now that hates Seth Rollins as much as I do, aside from Roman Reigns. It's you. And I'm seeing you soften up before my very eyes. I see you looking to shake hands with the man who cost you the WWE Championship 2 years ago. A man that you've been to war with. I see you're about to shake his hand in Glasgow. And now, you're picking him to be on when you know he can't be trusted, you're picking him to be on our team tonight against Imperium. What, just because he's got issues with the group as well? Cody, you need to wake up. Seth Rollins can't be trusted. Seth Rollins, he's a liability. And he better not try any funny business tonight, but if he does, I'll make sure I put him in his place." Cody goes, "Punk, I appreciate the concerns, and obviously me and Seth will never truly see eye to eye, but I'm all about, extending all our branches. It's the life is too short to be bitter forever, and me and Seth will never be friends, but I'm sure as hell thinking we can be partners." And he walks off. Punk goes, "Well, we'll see, won't we?" We then get another Prime Saurus and Logan Paul World Tour video. He's taking the Prime Saurus around all the Prime meetings around the world. They release Prime in some other country. The Prime Saurus is there to unveil it. Little kids are running around, dabbing, being irritating little alpha babies. Skibbity Riz. Prime Saurus gets Phantom taxed, all that. And then he just stands there with the blank expression on his face, just glaring at these irritating little Logan Paul fans, running around saying "Gat, gat, gat, Ohio." Logan goes, "What's up, buddy? What's the matter? Cat got your tail? Listen, I understand that you miss being in that ring. You want to put more boots to that idiot Humberto Carrillo. I gotcha." Next week, we're coming back to Monday Night Raw. And they're going to put Prime back on the map in the WWE stage when we unveil a major SummerSlam announcement. And the Prime Source's face still doesn't, expression still doesn't change. But yeah, next week, Logan Paul coming back to Raw. He's got some major Prime announcement he wants to get off his chest. 71, sure. Wrestling for 71 to crowd 66. Lack of psychology, apparently, but sure. Yes. In the first Raw Queen of the Ring semi-final, it is Tiffany Stratton who advances to the Raw final of the Queen of the Ring tournament. She pins Stephanie Vaquer in 12:23 with a PME. The Blondes are at ringside and they do attack Stephanie during the match. But, the finish comes after that. Tiffany hits the PME to pick up the win. 73 for Tiffany Stratton, 69 for Stephanie Vaquer. So, 71 is the exact middle ground between them two. But, yes, Tiffany Stratton will face either Bianca Belair or Nova Nebula in the Raw Queen of the Ring final at Evolution in Arena Mexico. We then cut back to the My Wrestling Academia Hospital. Dio and Manny, they rush through like it's night time. And they rush through in their pajamas, comic pajamas, of course it's funny. I imagine Dio sleeps in, just his pants, so he's just got a tiny pair of underwear on and a dressing gown over the top. But, Manny's got Hatsune Miku pajamas, and they rush into the hospital. They go, we were called. What's it about? And then the nurse is like, there's been an emergency we need you for. And they take him to Saray's room. And they open the door. He goes, promise not to freak out. And they open the door. And Saray is gone. I'm like, what? Where'd she go? She goes, I don't know. We checked the security camera footage, and Manny goes, and? She was, there was another woman in here who was, rubbing her forehead while she was sleeping. And then she left, and Saray escaped through the window. Manny goes, what other woman? What'd she look like? And then they're like, well, she... If you could believe this, I'm sure you can, because you've done just that right now. She was wearing pajamas, and her hair was in pigtails, and she had a sleeping mask on her head. Manny goes, huh. I don't know what sort of idiot would come to the hospital in their pajamas. Camera pans up and down at him in his. But we will keep you updated. If we see any update on her situation, we'll obviously let you know. But yeah, she's gone. We then cut back to the ring, and out comes Christian, Dijak, and Dominic Mysterio. And Christian goes, why do you think this entire time I've had such an issue with Dusty's son and Dusty and the way Dusty brought his son up? It's because Dusty, as a legend, as a father, it was his role, his right to raise his children properly. And I didn't see that with Cody, which seems to be a thing in the world of professional wrestling. Okay. It seems to be a running trend that there's a bunch of has-beens out on the road, sleeping with every single woman they can come into contact with, knocking them up because they've got the money to pay for protection because they spend it all on drugs and booze. And then that child is left to grow up without a dad because their father's out on national television every single week paying their dues and doing their job. That's no excuse not to be the greatest father you could ever be. Wrestling, WWE, has long been in need of a great father figure, and I could be that man. I am that man. You see, my oldest, pointing at Dijak, my oldest over here has been going through a bit of a phase recently where he's been disappointing Daddy, okay? So, it's time I branch out my knowledge to somebody more versatile, somebody more willing to learn, rather than that big idiot back there. That person is, of course, the poster boy of children who grew up in this industry with an absent father, a deadbeat dad. My new son, Dominic Mysterio. And Dominic takes the mic, and he goes, all these years I've been on record for saying that I wished Eddie was my real father, because I damn sure know it shouldn't be Rey Mysterio. Hell, Rey Mysterio is now the one at home unemployed, and I'm the one on WWE television every single week. I still see my children. But I've now seen the light. Eddie, he also had for his problems with drugs and alcohol that ended up, you know how that ended up for Eddie. It didn't end up too well for him. Which is why I needed a real father figure to look up to, not Eddie, not my deadbeat dad, but Christian. Christian, I'm so happy that you're in my life. I'm so happy that you took me in as your youngest. And I promise I'll be the best son I can be. I'll be better than I could ever be having that deadbeat father that I used to have. And it will start by regaining my Intercontinental Championship. Now Christian goes, well, as you remember, my youngest son Dominic was screwed out of the Intercontinental Championship on the Raw after WrestleMania by that bastard Humberto Carrillo, and now that championship's been walking around here on the shoulders of Jay White, who's not even defending the damn thing. Dominic's coming to get that championship back. Okay, he won that in a hard-fought victory back at WrestleMania. My youngest son climbed the ladder, retrieved that championship. He took that title from the hands of some guy. I don't even remember who had it before Dominic. But Dominic's going to get it back. And he's going to do even better with it because I'm his father figure. I'm his mentor. You are jealous you don't get a father like me. And Dominic, I'm so happy to have a son like you. Out comes Santana and Santos Escobar. And Santana's pissed off. He's got like a sock full of quarters. He's like swinging it around, and Santos sort of like holds him back. And he goes, Dom, I felt at times I was the only person in this group who actually had emotions and cared for you. I thought everybody else was weird. I thought they were the assholes, and I was the only good guy in the group who cared about you when Conan brought you to us. Stephanie, she didn't care for you. Roosh, he doesn't care for you. Jorge, he doesn't care for you, but I did. But now I've seen the light. I never should have cared about a piece of trash like you because there's no fixing garbage. Santana just there swinging the soccer quarters around. He goes, can we beat him up now? And Santos goes, no. So here, Dominic, here's what I say, here's what I propose to you. King of the Ring, Mexico City, Arena, Mexico. You three, the patriarchy, against us three, LA Extreme, in a 6-man tag team match. And Christian and Dominic sort of just lap it up and laugh at each other. They go, two things, idiot. Okay, first of all, we accept. Okay, Dominic never wanted your affection. He was never a part of your group to make friends. He was a part of your group to win championships, which is now why he's under my tutelage, because we can get him to keep those championships. And 3 of you, there's only 2 of you. And Santos sort of just turns to Jorge and goes, now's the time. And then Rouge flies in from off camera. He takes down Dominic Mysterio. Santana starts whipping Christian with the sock full of quarters. And Dijak's standing around there, and Christian Santana goes, do something, you big idiot. And then Dijak does grab. Jorge Santana throws him off, allowing Christian to scurry out of the ring. And then Christian orders Dijak to come and protect him, and Dominic's in the ring alone. He just takes the attack from Santos, Rouge, and Jorge getting whipped with the sock full of quarters, and he's screaming out, ow, daddy, daddy. And Christian's on the stage going, no, my son. And Dijak goes down and grabs Dom, pulls him out of the ring by his arms, and hoists his dead body over his shoulder as he walks to the back with Christian screaming at LA Extreme in the ring. So yeah, 6-man tag. Nice way to get these Mexican guys on the show in Mexico. Yeah, LA Extreme against the patriarchy. We then cut backstage. Kathy Kelly says, ladies and gentlemen, my guests at this time, Carlito, Jeff Jarrett, and Cameron Grimes. And then they walk in and Kathy goes, so we heard, earlier on tonight, Logan Paul said he's going to be back here next week with a major Prime SummerSlam announcement. Any sneak peeks on what that could be? And Carlito goes, hey, yo, Kathy, Logan doesn't tell us stuff like that, okay? He keeps top secret Prime business under wraps, okay? He wouldn't go blabbing about that to guys like me, Jeff, and Cameron. And then Jeff Jarrett sort of says, he goes, well, we know what it is, and it's going to be great, Kathy. Okay, SummerSlam is going to be bigger than ever this year, and it's all thanks to Prime, okay? Prime Hydration is the game changer of the energy drinks, beverage division, okay? And if you haven't had a taste of the newest flavor, it's sponsored by WWE. We got a prime WWE crossover. And Kathy goes, I'm sorry, Jeff, I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm getting word of an incident just down the hall. We cut around. Big E and Bronson Steiner are still brawling. You know, they charge into the wall at each other, start throwing hands. Kofi flies in. He jumps on Bronson Steiner's back to take him down. Bronson eventually does throw Kofi off, picks Kofi up, throws him into Big E. And then Bronson goes, hey, you want to fight, huh? You think you're a big tough guy? Meet me in that ring next week, and we'll see who really is a big tough guy. And then the security and refs try and go, he goes, I'm leaving. And Big E and Kofi, get to their feet. Kofi goes, just leave him, he's not worth it, wait till next week. We just need to make sure Woods gets the job done tonight. 77. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. Set up last week, Roxy Perez and Alexa Bliss 1-on-1. It is Roxy who picks up the win. She beats Alexa 11:45 with Pop Rocks. 69 for Alexa Bliss, 77 for Roxy Perez, who has a strong connection with the young female demographic who really liked her winning. Cool. She's a heel, but cool. Yeah. And then after the match, Cora Jade takes the mic. She goes, what you just saw right there was Roxy Perez proving what I said last week. And that's that our division, our generation, is the future of this division. And the division of the Alexa Bliss and the Bayley is a thing of the past. Okay, I hope all of you at home, your favourite women's wrestler is Bayley. You've been a little hugger since the day you were born. Tune into Evolution, because it's going to be the last time you'll ever see Bayley as a women's world champion here in this damn company, because I'm going to take it and punch. You can pinpoint on a map the exact period where the next generation of women's wrestling began, and it's going to start with me. Bayley comes out. It's Cora. I really didn't want to say this, because obviously look at you, you're being completely out of line, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I know those are the words that you probably wanted to hear all those years ago, and not now. But I am. You're standing up for yourself. You're making a name for yourself. Okay? You came to this company, a fan of mine, and I was flattered. I mean, it made me feel a little old, but I was flattered. So I always knew that I would want to see you one day make it to the very top. And look at you now. You're about to be, correct me if I'm wrong, the youngest ever pay-per-view main eventer in a world championship match. That's a big deal, Cora. That's a lot of pressure for somebody at 23 years old. A lot of pressure. I know if I had that kind of pressure on me when I was 23, I'd have choked. But no, it's great, because, you're more established than I was at 23. When I was 23, I was still main eventing NXT TakeOver. No, but it's great. It's true, because you, Cora, you're the future. But last I checked, we're still in the present. This Sunday is the present. Bayley is the present. I am the WWE Women's Champion. You can walk around here, you two calling yourselves the future all you want. The future doesn't start until I, the champion, says so. And this Sunday, it's balls in your court. The future can either start, or you can delay it for even longer, as I, Bayley, remain WWE Women's Champion. We cut backstage to Trick Williams. He's sort of just pacing around. He goes, Tricky really, Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about it. Drafted to Monday Night Raw. Came to beat Mello's ass. I'll beat Mello's ass. Send his ass back to SmackDown. Check it. Tricky Willie goes for the Intercontinental Championship. Comes up short. No fault of his own, but comes up short. Bout it. Tricky and his King of the Ring. Comes up short. Ever since I put Mello's ass in the ground, it's been nothing but L after L after L for Trick Williams. That ain't how Tricky plays. Okay, Tricky Willie don't take L. Tricky Willie takes dubs. Okay, big dubs. Every single time he steps out in that ring. Okay, all you people out there trying to whoop that trick at me don't want to go out there and see me lose. So this here moment right now is the Tricky Willie. Rise. And Damian Priest and the Grand Jury walk in. He goes, did someone say rise? Trick, I couldn't help overhear you, talking about all your failures that you came to Raw. Trick goes, that's right. You know all about failures, don't you, Damian Priest? He goes, well, it's funny you mentioned that because, we haven't really been getting off. I've beaten Xavier Woods a couple of times, but last week he finally got his win back over me. I didn't like that very much. She goes, then let's talk about it. What you gonna do about it? He goes, what I was thinking was, there's always room in the Grand Jury for you. Trick, I know you're wearing black right now, black and silver. It suits you, it does. But purple will really bring it out of you, Trick. Great, you'd really take us to new heights. You'd elevate us, we'd elevate you. We'd all rise. Tricky goes, man, if you don't get your silly ass out of my face, Tricky Willie, he's done, okay? When Tricky Willie was in a tag team, it was with his brother, Carmelo Hayes. Then that brother stabbed me in the back. I ain't want to go back to no tag teams, no factions anytime soon, okay? I fly solo right now, because it ain't whoop that ass or whoop that Grand Jury bitch. It's whoop that Trick. But mind you, if you're free next week, I'll happily whoop one of you boys' asses next week. I don't care which one it is. And then Ken Cobain steps up. He goes, all the charisma in the world. I get it. I get why people love you. But me? I don't get the hype. What can you do in that ring that's so special, huh? And he whips out like a deck of cards, or like a hand of cards, and he goes, show me. So yeah, Ace Austin. No, sorry, who the fuck is that? Ken Cobain, next week, against Trick Williams. When they come back to the ring. Oh, I was going to say why the fuck did this do so shit, but it's because the guns are there. Jay White comes to the ring. Oh, actually, no, I imagine he's already in the ring. Like, we go to ads after that Trick segment. We come back, and then Jay White's already in the ring. And he goes, now. I've heard all your tweets. I've heard all your comments, all your bitching and moaning last week. LA Knight got one over on me. It will never happen again, because this is the Switchblade era, and I will be reigning as the Intercontinental Champion every single time I step down to this ring, because I ain't planning on ever dropping it. Now I see, 30 days has come and gone and I've not defended this championship yet, but there's some of you questioning the integrity of my championship reign. Well, don't get it twisted, I'm still the greatest champion of all time. I've just been busy doing other stuff, okay? When I'm Intercontinental Champion, I don't stop at just being Intercontinental Champion. I was going to win Money in the Bank, and I was going to win King of the Ring. And since LA Knight robbed that of me, I robbed it of him. So, I'm going to offer a challenge for the Intercontinental Championship right here, right now, against the most deserving man on this roster for a championship opportunity. He does a drum roll and goes, the Gunn's mock drumming behind him. And he goes, Austin Gunn. Austin Gunn pretends to look shocked and goes, oh, me? He goes, that's right, Austin. I saw what you did earlier on tonight, costing LA Knight that spot in that King of the Ring tournament. And I've got to reward dedication like that to the Switchblade Guns. So right here, right now, it'll be you, it'll be me, and it'll be this championship. We're going to finally defend this against the most deserving competitor. So yeah, Jay White versus Austin Gunn for the championship. Gets a 70. Jay White, of course, does defeat Austin Gunn with a Blade Runner in 6:49 to make defense number 1 of the Intercontinental Championship. 86 for Jay White, 48 for Austin Gunn. Then after the match, he gets Austin Gunn up. And he goes, well, would you look at that, the Switchblade era is off to a flying start. Like I said, I'm never dropping this championship. Nobody back there is more deserving than Austin Gunn for a championship shot. Out comes Wes Lee. And Wes Lee goes, this is a joke, right? I'm serious because, I heard so much about the Switchblade over in Japan. I had so much about this Tokyo Dome main eventer. This game-changing star that was coming to WWE, and you've been just that since your debut at WrestleMania. You took Monday Night Raw and grabbed it by the balls. But this, defending the championship against Austin Gunn, handing out opportunities to your own undeserving friends, that ain't a champion. At least not one that I can respect. Jay just laughs and goes, who said I wanted your respect? I've got what I want, and that's this, okay, and you're never gonna have it. Wes goes, never, huh? Never's a long-ass time, Jay. In your world, never is. Infinity goes on and on and on till the end of time. In my world, never is about 7 days. Because next week, if you want to prove that you're really a fighting champion, I don't want to see you beating Austin Gunn. Defend that championship against me. And he just goes, you're wrong. I'll fight you anytime, anywhere, Wes. But just so you know, no hard feelings when this game-changing champion puts your ass in the ground, and you will learn what everybody else so far has learned. And that's that you do eventually breathe with the Switchblade. So yeah, Jay White versus Wes Lee next week for the Intercontinental Championship. We're going to get a quick pre-recorded segment. We're in, like, some fancy, elaborate, like, house. There's, like, you know, mahogany bookshelves all around. They're all stacked with copies of Becky Lynch, The Man, Not Your Average Girl. You know, fireplace is on. And we pan across, Becky's just there. She's sat on a sofa, you know, writing a chapter in her book. She goes, like, it's narrated, like, I'm imagining the scene in my head is, like, it shows camera shots of close-up of her face and, like, her writing down. So Becky's speaking, but, like, it's narrated over, so, like, her mouth's not moving in the segment, we just see her writing. She goes, another chapter in the great career of the man has come to an end. And what else do I really have to say about it? Well, WrestleMania didn't exactly go my way. But since then, it's been a wild ride. Gigi Dolan disrespected me. I put her down. Bird Girl disrespected me. I put her down. And now Kelly. Kelly seems to think that I'm a loser. What, because I lost in Queen of the Ring, just like she did. But out of my generosity, I'm giving Kelly the greatest platform she's ever had the opportunity to compete on. A premium live event singles match against me. The most greatest women's wrestling star of all time. Somebody so famous that, you know, I've met the goddamn president. Okay, Killer Kelly was tidying up gyms in Portugal 5 years ago when I was main eventing WrestleMania. So now it's time to learn that while everybody may get a crack at the big time, there's a reason why most people have just 15 minutes. While some people are born in it. Some people are born to stay in it. Some people are just born special. And she shuts the book and just sits there smiling. We then cut backstage, and we've got, like, we see Triple H looking exasperated at his desk, and we just hear in the background, we see Odyssey Jones' hand out, and then, like, Orange Cassidy's stacking $1 bill after $1 bill after $1 bill, and he's like, 4,997, 4,998, 4,999, 5,000. And he goes, there's the 5Gs, Mr. Triple H. He goes, damn, are you sure you got them all? And Orange goes, crap, maybe we should restart. Triple H goes, no, enough, I'll get this to whoever needs to pay for that restaurant. You know, God, running this wrestling industry, you know, I never thought I'd have to pay off restaurant fines. I sure wish Dave was back here to run this show. And Orange goes, oh, by the way, Mr. HHH, I've got a request for you. Since we paid off that fine, I want to wrestle those guys next week. And Triple H goes, so you want a tag team match against Troy and Channing of the D'Angelo family? Sure. You know, who's your partner? And he just looks up at Odyssey Jones and goes, him. And Odyssey goes, great, you know, we gotta beat some ass next week, Orange. You excited? And he goes, yeah, should be a great time. So yeah, next week, Odyssey Jones against Orange Cassidy against the D'Angelo family. 2 dimes and sacks. 85 rated match. Let's go. And despite being injured with injured ribs, Xavier Woods does get the job done tonight. He defeats Montez Ford in 12:55 by pinfall with a Shining Wizard. Aramentz is at ringside with Montez Ford, so Kofi comes out with Woods. Just Kofi. Big E, was busy tonight. And during the match, Aramentz is trying to get involved and cost Woods the match. Kofi clocks him with Trouble in Paradise on the outside. And then at some point in time, he also accidentally hits Montez Ford, which the referee doesn't see. And then Xavier Woods pins him off of that. 80 for Xavier Woods, 83 for Montez Ford. So yes, it is now confirmed at King of the Ring, the Raw final will be AJ Styles taking on Xavier Woods. We then see, we cut to a street at night, and then we see in the corner a new club's opened. It's the Physical Club Venus. The door opens, and the pages are there, and they go, welcome, let us show you around. And then, they show them on the dance floor. You got Victoria Shields is in there doing stuff. Mina's in there doing stuff. And then they go, this private tour is such a great tour of this club. We're actually going to let you on a little secret. We're going to show you the special secret back room of the club. And then they open the doors and turn the lights on, and then the music suddenly stops. Because, the back room of the club has been vandalized. It says, you smell, big middle finger drawn on it. J-Flo was here. And all that. And they go, what the hell have they done? How did they get in here? And then they when the door shuts, they were hiding behind the door with weapons, and they ambush the Club Venus girls. And we get a nightclub brawl because they're always fun. But yes, this 4v4 will culminate at Evolution when, these 2 teams of 4 finally do face off. We then see Cody in his locker room. He gets his shit on, he got his jacket on, picks up his belt, opens his door, and he leaves. But then, as soon as he leaves, Seth Rollins just there stood outside, just glaring a hole through him. And Cody goes, can I help you? He goes, he spoke to you, didn't he? And Cody goes, who? And he goes, Punk. Cody goes, yes, I've spoken to CM Punk today. And Seth goes, oh, really? And what did he have to say? Cody goes, he brought up a lot of interesting points, Seth, but don't worry about what CM Punk said. Okay, now listen, I'll reiterate the same to you that I said to Punk. Me and you were never going to be friends. You know that. And Seth says, He goes, but I can see that you want to get your revenge on Imperium just as much as we do. So, I told Punk, if you're going to get any funny ideas tonight, we're both going to be ready quickly to drop your ass in the ground. Because I want to show respect to my greatest rival. I was going to shake your hand in Glasgow before Imperium attacked us. Prove to me that was the right decision. So it goes, oh really? I've got to prove to you that respect is earned, but CM Punk just gets given it for free. Okay, Punk deserves no respect. Okay, I don't care what he said about me. I don't care what he says or does. Okay, because he doesn't deserve to be here, Cody. You are getting walked all over by CM Punk. You need to grow a backbone and tell him where to shove it, because we don't need him here. We don't need him tonight. We don't want him tonight. And he's told you that I'm gonna get some funny business. He's the man who shouldn't even be here. He's the man who starts shit every single time he steps into an arena. But I'm the untrustworthy one. Cody, let me say it to you straight. I don't like you. I don't respect you. If you would have shaken my hand in Glasgow, I probably would have rejected it. But we'll never know because we got attacked by Imperium. But tonight, I want to get my revenge on Imperium. And you want to get your revenge on Imperium. And Punk, apparently he's got issues with them because he's sticking up for you. Okay? Why do you think that is, Cody? He doesn't have the best interests of the locker room at heart. He doesn't have the best interests of you at heart. He wants that. That which you took from me. That which you kept a hold of by going to war with me. But yeah, I'm the problem. And he storms off, and Cody's just like, whoa, that was a lot to take in. 83, Nova Nebula also has a connection with the young female demographic who really liked her winning. But yes, Nova punches her tickets to the final of the Raw final of Queen of the Ring. She beats Bianca Belair with the Area 451 in 12:52. 80 for Nova, 85 for Bianca, confirming that the Raw Queen of the Ring final at Evolution will be Nova Nebula taking on Tiffany Stratton. Next week, we have a pretty stacked show. Next week is the first show following Evolution and King of the Ring. So it's the first on the official road to SummerSlam. And tonight we learned 3 matches that will take place on that show. 4, actually. The first being Orange Cassidy and Odyssey Jones in tag team action against Troy 2x Donovan and Channing Stacks Lorenzo of the D'Angelo family. Plus, Trick Williams goes one-on-one with Ken Cobain of the Grand Jury. Plus, following their brawls earlier on tonight, Big E and Bronson Steiner are set for a war on next week's episode of Raw, and an Intercontinental Championship clash as Jay White defends his championship against Wes Lee. And then, not a wrestling match, but World Tag Team Champion Logan Paul will be in the house, and he's got what he's calling a major prime SummerSlam announcement. Moving on to the pay-per-views this weekend themselves, we learned 2 new matches for King of the Ring tonight, the first being a 6-man tag team match. The Patriarchy, Christian Cage, his oldest son Dijak, and his youngest son Dominic Mysterio, in a 6-man tag team match against Santos Escobar, Jorge Santana, and the returning Rush in Arena Mexico, plus the Raw King of the Ring final as AJ Styles and Xavier Wood face off. The winner goes to the grand final later on in the night, potentially earning a World Championship match at SummerSlam. And then on the women's side, we learned that at Evolution, the Raw Queen of the Ring final will be Tiffany Stratton taking on Nova Nebula. And again, the winner of that will go on to the grand final later on in the night for a potential World Championship match at the biggest party of the summer. We then cut backstage. We cut to a camera outside the arena. Christian and Dijak are walking towards a car. You know, Dominic Mysterio is still laid out over Dijak's shoulders. And Christian goes, "Can you believe this? You know, long-ass drive to Mexico. You know, they've got a long way to go. You know, hope you don't make any mistakes on the way there." Okay, because this match in Mexico, you know, Dominic Mysterio, the Mysterio name, is a legendary name in Mexico, and they think the greatest Mysterio to ever live is his deadbeat dad. Okay, but we're going to Arena Mexico this Saturday, and we're going to prove that the greatest Mysterio to ever live is him right there over your shoulder. And then they open the trunk to the car. They just dump Dominic Mysterio's unconscious body in the trunk and like shut him in there and then drive off. 98 rated main event. Okay, so this got time. I wanted this to be like 3 segments, maybe even 4 segments. Imperium against Punk, Seth, and Cody. So we've had our issues between all 3 men recently. You know, Punk expressed his concerns for Seth in this match to Cody. Seth expressed his concerns for Punk in this match to Cody. And yeah, they're doing their thing. Cody, at some point, though, is taken out. They take Cody down on the outside, they being Vinci and Kaiser. You know, they double team Cody, take him down. Punk gets all fired up. And then, you know, he's not the legal man, though. He's on the outside of the ring, you know, beating up Vinci and Kaiser. And then he gets up on the apron. And he, like, sees Seth Rollins in the ring, you know, wrestling Gunther. Seth sling blades Gunther and takes him down. And Punk, he's doing the stamp on the steps thing. He's extending his arm out. He's actually going to tag in Seth Rollins there. When, before Seth can get to Punk, right on cue, we see a pair of hands appear from underneath the apron and yank CM Punk off the apron. We can only assume who that was. But obviously Seth Rollins doesn't see that. because, there's fucking nobody there. And, yeah, Punk just gets yanked to the floor as Seth leaps, so it looks like Punk shut off the apron. And then Punk looks underneath the ring, like, who the fuck was that? And then Gable scurries out, like, imagining, they're in the babyface tag corner, top left of the hard cam. So, like, Gable comes out that side, next to the barricade towards the fans. And then when Punk looks under there, he scurries out the side of the ramp and scurries up the ramp. And then Punk sort of, like, watches him run away. But then, like, Seth screams and goes, "Hey, Phil, what the hell are you thinking, huh?" And then he gets outside, he starts screaming in Punk's face. Punk's screaming, he goes, there was Chad Gable under there, he pulled my leg off, okay? If I wanted to fuck you over, I'd just do it straight up, okay? We need to win this match because we've got issues with those guys in the ring. And then there's collateral, and eventually Gunther does pin Seth Rollins after that to win the match for Imperium. It says he pinned Cody. He didn't pin Cody. He pinned Seth. I was originally going to have him pin Cody. Like, the original plan was for Gunnar to pin Cody in this match because of the Seth Rollins CM Punk shit. Like, that distracted Cody or whatever. But I wanted the finish to be, there. And I'd have to tag Cody back in somehow. But yeah. So yeah, Seth just takes the pin instead. 92 for Punk, 92 for Seth, 87 for Cody, 90 for Ludwig, 91 for Vinci, 98 for Gunther. And yeah, Gunther scoring a pinfall victory over Seth Rollins. He glares across at Cody Rhodes, points down at Seth and goes, "That'll be you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many it takes times on Saturday night. And I will stand here, WWE Champion." And Cody, he's down by the announce table when he looks across and he sees Seth and Punk just fucking arguing with each other. They're like screaming in each other's faces. They don't come to blows, but they're just Cody just looks across at his head, like his little head's poking over the side, because he sees what happened here, and you can see like the gears turning in his head, like, maybe Punk is the one that's untrustworthy. 92 Raid Show. Let's go. We take those. But yeah, that's the end of the Raw build to King of the Ring and Evolution. I'll see you on the other side now for Heat. Heat kicks off with Kiana James on the phone in her office. She's got the next gen girls standing around beside her. Like, they're like sort of extended security right now. And yeah. She's like, yeah, it's all going to be set. I think I've got all the lumberjills ready in line for Mexico this Sunday. When Liv and Sonya Deville burst in. And Liv goes, "Is that Sasha? Is that Sasha on your precious little phone here?" And Liv snatches the phone off Kiana James and she goes, "Hey, boss," or CEO, whatever you want to be called. Yeah, Kiana's got the lumberjills getting ready for Sunday. And they're not going to be able to prevent you from escaping when I beat your ass in Mexico City. Now I hope you're watching Heat tonight because me and Sonya are going to go out there and show everybody what happens when you mess with two bitches from Jersey." And she just slams the phone down on the desk and then storms out. So our opening match is Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville in tag team action. They defeat Zoe Stark and Sol Ruca in a 75 rated match. That's actually pretty good. Sonya pins Zoe, apparently. 73 for Liv, 71 for Sonya, 59 for Zoe, 66 for Sol. And yeah, Liv getting a nice win ahead of Evolution, where she faces Sasha Banks. But also, Sasha will be in the building tomorrow for ECW, because she's got a match with Sonya Deville. 71, that's actually really good for this. Kim McQueen, I don't know if she's wrestled at all since Money in the Bank, but I need to get her some wins racking back up again now. She defeats Xia Li with a spear in 8 minutes and 1 second. 61 for Kim, 68 for Xia Li. We see Shotzi and Scarlett in Gorilla. Scarlett's completely spooked by, what she saw with with Wendy Chu last week, but Shotzi, she's all fired up because she wasn't there. She doesn't know what she saw. She went, "Scarlett's going to be great, Tag team action, me and you back in action, okay? S&S connection, way to whip some ass. Take care of business tonight." And Scarlett goes, "Yeah, it's going to be great." Shotzi goes, "Babe, what's the matter? Okay? come on, what spooked you? You know, what's eating you? And she goes, last week I had a match on this show against Wendy Chu. She goes, oh, I love Wendy. You know, I always really like her vibe. You know, she's got some like cute little pajama outfit going on. Scarlett goes, yeah, you know, normally, but something was different about her. She it's like she was possessed or something. Chelsea's like, possessed? You mean, who would have possessed Wendy Chu? Don't tell me you're scared of Wendy Chu, you know. Come on. You know, we go to haunted mansions all the time. We laugh at other people getting scared. We don't get scared ourselves, okay? Now let's go out there and kick some ass. Scarlett goes, yeah, I guess you're right. So they go out for their tag team match. When Wendy Chu's music hits again, and out comes possessed Wendy Chu. And she just stands, you know, on the ramp and like slowly turns her head back, like waiting for her partner. And who is her partner? Who comes out from the smoke? But Spooky Sarray. They have absolutely zero chemistry as partners. I don't care. I will probably change that, actually. But Sarray, you know, she has her spooky evil eye contacts in. And we may have found out who it was that woke her up. And yeah, she pins or submits Scarlett with a sleeper hold in 7:59. 54 for Scarlett, 67 for Shotzi, 43 for Wendy, 57 for Sarray. No chemistry, but I'm probably going to change that to at least neutral, because I want to run with this team, okay? Very good, okay. That was a risk, because there was a mysterious occult gimmick, which Sarray, it didn't say she couldn't do, but it said that it didn't say she could do very well. But, yeah, doing something different here. Sarray is going to be partner of Wendy Chu. This is effectively the culmination of the entire pendant arc right here, you know, because we were told that the pendant being destroyed would keep Sarray in a coma, but if Wendy woke her up from that coma, then bad things are going to happen. So, yeah. Sarray, I've been trying my hardest to make a spooky, but every single PNG of Sarray is her smiling. So that's going to take some change. I need to change that at some point to some sort of possessed evil Sarray looking picture, but they don't exist. But yes, Sarray's back. That's where she went. And a 76 rated main event. I imagine this would have been announced as like Hikaru Shida in action. And her opponent is NXT Japan's Saya Kamitani. And a 76 rated match. Saya Kamitani beats Hikaru Shida with a running shooting star press. 44 for Saya, 87 for Shida. And yeah, she's celebrating her win, you know. Crowd's impressed, so this young upstart picks up a big win over, you know, someone getting ratings like this. You know, that's important from her. Big from her. When everyone's heads all like just turn to the ramp. Because who is applauding and walking their way down to the ring? But Cammy. She gets into the ring. She sort of like just like starts clapping. She puts her arm around Saya and raises her arm up in the air, and Saya just looks at her all confused, like, what the fuck you doing? That ends a very eventful heat. Okay, gets a 70. Sure. What matters more is what you thought of the show, mainly of Raw. And I'll see you next time for ECW, where some things might happen because Paul Heyman's back and Russo's gonna be back. So who the fuck knows how that's gonna go. See you then.